Hello everybody, welcome back to part 9 of my walkthrough. I know it's been a while. Still have all of my footage saved, it's just a matter of finding time to get everything encoded, to record the commentary over it, kind of review the footage and see where I was, where I left off, what I was doing. Anyways, I apologize about that. So in part 9 of my walkthrough, I am going to go into a giant hole in the ground near the gas station and recover some goods from the trunk. And I'm going to fight off a bunch of snorks. And then I'm going to go gas out all of the bloodsuckers over in their little lair. So, here we are starting off towards the gas station. Hear gunshot over to my right. There's usually stalkers stationed over at that Shavenko or whatever that boat is called, that barge. So probably fighting off mutants. Here's some flushes over to my left. And surprise, surprise, we get a blowout. Could always tell it's coming when the sky gets dark. You hear deep bass rumble. Hell, even the snorks are running away. Luckily, you could actually shelter over here in this little rock hideout where you find a stash. So that's where I'm going to wait this one out. Or maybe you can't. And if you check your map, you'll see a little target crosshair and the nearest hiding spot. So I think I check my map and I see that it's over here. So just to double check, I go over and hide in this pit. Though I'm not sure why a pit would be a better hiding spot than a giant cave underneath a giant rock. I don't know. Anyways. Kind of got to slow down when you're making these jumps because it's very easy just to fall to your death. So there I am. I see the update that I accidentally clicked my mouse button. Whoops. I see the update that I'm in shelter. So, which is right there. Stay sheltered. That's when you know that you're going to be safe as it passes. And I made it looks like just in time. That's another reason I think I bailed on the spot underneath the rock where you find the stash. I'm pretty sure in vanilla Call of Pripyat you're able to hide under there from blowouts, but since I didn't get the update saying stay sheltered, I kind of figured that, you know, maybe it wasn't such a great place to wait it out. we go. All done. So now we can continue on. Fortunately, all the drops took about half of my health. A little bit more than half. And that's gonna suck trying to fight these guys in here, these snorks. So you can see I got the steel box out of the trunk. It's a mission that you get from... actually, I don't remember his name. One of the stalkers over by the entrance to your base. So I got one down, about 3 or 4 more to go. There's the other guy. Oh wow, that was close. You know, the reach of these guys doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Sometimes it looks like they're right on top of you and they'll miss. Other times it looks like they're 10 feet from you and you still get hit. Now I've only got a little tiny bit of health left, and I think I've got at least 1 or 2 more of these guys in here, maybe even more than that. It's kind of nerve-wracking because it's close quarters. These things are fast and sneaky, and you can easily get turned around and lost in this cave in here. See that? For that, some reason didn't hit me. Maybe it was at the end of his attack animation and was just out of reach. I don't know, but it looked like it should have. Very likely should have died at that point, but I didn't. And then sometimes I'm strafing way to the side of it, I'll still get hit somehow. They also get ambushed when you leave the caves by a few more of these guys, so watch your ammo and keep your sound up, as they'll sneak up on you. I think you could hear another one. Oh, maybe not. Alright, I only got about 11 shells left for my shotgun, so time to head back. Shivenko. God, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably way off. I can't remember exactly what the name is. And then up there is the Skadovsk. Yeah, sometimes you get this weird, blurry sort of effect for things in the distance. And it's almost as if there should be fog, but the fog particle effect hasn't kicked in yet. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but you can see what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's this effect, and then sometimes there's the fog, and the fog is terrible because it makes it just that much harder to see in the distance. So to originally get the quest from retrieving the box from the trunk, you would be talking to a guy over here to your right, and he's to the right of the entrance when you walk into the Skadovsk, and he's sitting down, I believe. And sometimes he'll talk to you. You don't even have to really go up to him and hit a button. Sometimes if you're close, he'll just kind of interrupt you and hell you over to him to tell you about the trunk and that he wants you to go get it, and he'll split the goods with you. But that is pretty much a ripoff. It's not really, I mean, the guy's a liar and kind of a thief, so it's not a good deal to get it and split it with him, because he'll try to negotiate taking everything. And it's better just to go get the box and to take it over here to the technician, to the mechanic. And he'll charge you a fee, but it'll open it up and give you everything. So that's what I'm going to do. Cardon, that's his name. There it is. Spent 3,800 rubles, and I got a whole box full of stuff. Got some carbon plating, it looks like. Repair my weapons, repair my armor. Offload some of my loot. These IEDs and mines and traps, I believe I said this in a previous video, but I mean, you might want to hang on to them, but you get a pretty penny for them, and it's something that I never really use. Hell, I don't even use grenades that much, honestly. I use the ones on the guns with the grenade launcher attachment, but unless there's a whole group of enemies tight together and you could sneak up on them, grenades just really aren't worth it. Unless you're out, you maybe only have a couple spaces for cover and the enemy takes cover. I don't know. I think maybe I don't utilize them as much as I could, but I do once or twice. As you saw, there was, I think, one point in one of my earlier videos where I come up on a gang of like 3 or 4 of those bandits all together, and I use a grenade to kill most of them all at once, and that's one of the few times they were really of any use to me. So I only keep maybe 2 or 3 on me, and I sell all the rest. It's a good idea to always keep your battery charged up as close to max as possible. I don't believe I spent too long here going over my inventory. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff that I got. But I'll probably just put the link up earlier for you guys anyways, so that you can skip all this if you want to. There we go. Well, maybe I won't, because I want to show where I actually buy one of these artifact modules. The reason it's kind of important is because I could take this fireball that I got earlier and throw it in there and put it in one of my suit attachments, and that is actually better than even the highest quality steel mesh plating that you can buy. It's something like 54, equivalent of 54 Kevlar sheets, I believe. So that's 22, and that is I can't even see. I think you have to have the fireball outside of the module to be able to look at it. I know it's in the 50s somewhere. And the steel plating, I think, is the equivalent of like 30 something Kevlar sheets. Aha, no, it's down at the bottom. 59 Kevlar sheets is the fireball. So it's actually almost double, I think, of the steel plating. And the drawback is it's a bit heavier, and you have to buy one of these expensive modules to use it. And of course you gotta find fireballs, but they're actually not all that rare. I think you find fireballs quite a bit. Maybe one of the more common artifacts. So I'm gonna save here at this point. I'm gonna head out to the bloodsucker lair, and I'm not gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna keep going. I think it's almost a little bit better for me to do like half an hour to 40-minute videos instead of 20-minute videos. Takes a lot longer to upload, but you know, I don't know. I don't have that much weight left that I could carry without being overburdened. So you see, I think I had like 54, 55 kilograms, and 60 was my maximum. But as soon as I get rid of this tank of gas, that should lighten me up a little bit. Always good to try to loot these things when you come across their bodies, even if it's a little bit out of your way. Free money, basically. Yeah, I think I've played through this game so many times that you probably notice I don't reference my map that much. That's probably a little bit sad, but Yeah, I can kind of know where I am just by looking around. And I know generally what direction to head out of the Skadovsk to get to where I need to go. It's a good idea to save every little bit on your journey, every like 5 minutes or so. Really sucks having to start 20 minutes, redo 20 minutes of gameplay just because you forgot to save. Especially when every little thing can kill you. Probably not these fleshes though. They're like the weakest mutants in the game. What can kill you is getting shot at while you loot. Funny how they wait until I loot. Like I'm sitting there looking around trying to see if anything's gonna attack me. No shots then, not until I hit the button. Tricky ass game. I'm not really interested in fighting bandits right now. I just want to get my quest done while I still have a little bit of daylight. So I'm just gonna save here. Make sure I'm not being followed, and I'm just gonna keep going. You gotta pick your battles. Now the transition here might be a little choppy because I realized that this part of my footage was missing, so I went back and re-recorded this. Luckily I keep all of my saves, which is why you see me kind of labeling them so specifically. 'Cause sometimes I guess I just forget to hit the record button, or as I'm going through and I'm deleting all the deaths, maybe sometimes I get a little overzealous in my deleting. So I had to re-record this part just today. Okay, so here I am back to my original footage. You can probably tell because the weather changes significantly. And you have 45 seconds to kill these two bloodsuckers, which is a bit of a challenge. My best advice is to try to keep them try to keep this ventilation shaft thing right here in the middle, between you and them. Just keep kind of strafing and circling around it. They like to try to attack you from the sides, so if you can get them on the other side of that thing, it helps you try to avoid their attacks, because they are super fast, and they like to disappear and try to get you from the side. If you shoot them enough times with the shotgun, they'll eventually go down. Might take you 3 or 4 times, but you'll get it done. So I finished my mission. It's time to start heading back. Actually, do I head back? Almost looks like I'm attempting to get to this downed chopper over here. Yep, that's what it looks like I'm doing. Gosh, it's been so long since I recorded this, I can't even remember my sequence of events. My save game dates, I think we're back in June? It's actually really kind of ballsy of me because usually there's a ton of mutants
Вся электроника внутри погорела.
near these choppers.
Даже
They're not
изоляция
very
на
easy
проводах
to get to.
расплавилась.
I guess maybe as I was going by I might have noticed that there weren't any controllers or poltergeists in the area, so I thought might as well just get it over with. But you're usually going to have poltergeists, you're usually going to have a controller, maybe a few other. And you're definitely going to get attacked right after you inspect, no matter which chopper it is. So here I'm close to death already, and it's just a couple of side dogs. Bloodsucker. Usually they don't go down in one shot, so it must have been already injured. Maybe he's trying to hunt the side dogs, pseudo dogs. Very careful of the anomalies over here in this area. And we're home free. It's relatively painless. By far the most well-protected chopper is the one, I think it's called the Iron Forest, with the lightning electrical anomalies. That one usually has a ton of zombies, probably at least a pseudo giant or two. Yeah, it's always a mess. They throw, seems like, almost all the hardest mutants they can at you when you try to go that way. The plateau is also a little bit of a difficult to get to, only because you need your scientific suit to even get to it, to get through the burning village fields, and you jump through this gap in the fence into a teleportation anomaly. But you'll see that in a little bit. See if I could somehow miraculously make it back to the Skidoffs. I'm a hair away from death. One thing I don't quite understand about the Misery mod, and maybe it was this way in Call of Pripyat too, but you seem to die when you have about 2.5 bars of health. I'm not sure why you don't die when it's, 0 health. That would make more sense, but I think I was down to about 3 bars of health, so I was just right there at the borderline. And of course, since I'm right here close to death, somebody's gonna start shooting at me. That's how it is in Misery. So I'm not really conditioned to fight an invisible enemy in the dark, so I'm just gonna try to carefully move my way around, utilize cover, keep my eyes open, try to use the hills as cover, keep out of their line of sight. And just hope that they forget about me and start moving on. This is why I love games like this. It's, most games you come across someone and you're just expected to kill it, and it's most of the time you can't. I mean, it's part of what the game is about, is just shooting every single thing you see. But Misery, you actually got to play more in a survivor mindset, that sometimes it's just not worth the ammo, it's not worth the risk. The reward just doesn't justify the risk sometimes, and you gotta just kind of work your way around. It's non-linear, it's kind of do things your way. You have the freedom to move around and explore these huge maps. I just really wish they would make another one of these games, Fortunately, you can't run and hide from this. Take care of this guy. Hopefully nothing comes and attacks me. Those cats are dangerous just because you can't really hear them until they attack you. See, that flesh you could hear as it squeals and screams and screeches at you as it's going to attack. Cats, they're absolutely silent. So if you don't see it first, you're going to get hit from behind and you won't even know it's there. Here I am, back on the Skadoff. Looks like I made it to safety. And I'm approaching 40 minutes, so I think here is where I will leave off. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll put another one of these up this weekend. And thanks again.